Good morning, everybody. I woke up this morning, couldn't go back to sleep, so I decided I'd get up and have breakfast with everybody this morning. Get on here and get my settings fixed correctly. We'll see how many people are up this morning. I'm still half asleep. I've just got my coffee done. I haven't drunk any yet. Oh, that's good this morning. How is everybody this morning if you're awake like I am? Uh-oh. Got to get in there and turn the sound off. Now, I got a lot I want to do today, so maybe that was on my mind when I woke up this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, we got some people in the house this morning. How is everybody? I can't see my chat yet. I'm here trying to make sure my settings are done correctly. We got Diane Hinkle. Hello, good morning. I just had to come in here and set some of my settings correctly. Make sure we don't have trolls coming in here this morning. And I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to put my thumbnail on. I took a good thumbnail and I didn't put it on my live. I knew there was something I was supposed to do. I'm not awake yet, y'all. That's the things you do when you're not fully awake yet. I'm bringing my chat up so I can see who's here and what they're saying. I can't believe I forgot to put my thumbnail on. It's crazy. Get this on live chat. Well, I don't want that light in the background. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Not a whole lot I can do about it, y'all. But I got me a piece of pumpkin bread here. That's my breakfast. And my cup of coffee. Y'all get you a cup of coffee and some toast or something. Have breakfast and coffee with me this morning. We got Cheryl Smitherman, good morning. Diana Hinkle. May get your names down because you'll get another chance at the drawing. Everybody that comes into the live this morning will get their name put in the pot another time for the drawing Thursday, February 6th. Can't believe it's already February 1st, y'all. Oh my goodness. It's not long before before Valentine's Day. We only got 13 days for Valentine's. Diana's got her coffee. Oh, Cheryl is from Haltom City. My daughter lives up around Fort Worth. She lives in Vista Ranch, her and her husband. I don't know if you're familiar with Vista Ranch. Gotta have some of this. That pumpkin bread is so good. Yeah, I want to try to get my cabinet stained today. That is if the sander comes. I mean, I've got to get the sander attachment to go on my drill and sand those green spots off of the front of it before I can do anything with it, because I don't want to stain it with those green spots on there. That'll look terrible. But I ordered it. Oh, we got Nancy Bishop in the house. Good morning, Nancy. The vegan menu is here. For any of you that just came in, I'm writing names down of everybody that comes in chat to give you another chance at the drawing Thursday. The 6th is right here on top of us, 5 more days after today. Diana's going to get her slice of pumpkin bread. You must have cooked you some pumpkin bread after you saw my video. I'll tell you, this pumpkin bread and that banana bread is so good. It don't even need nuts and raisins and all that other stuff. Just by itself is so good. Cheryl said she's so excited she finally made a live. Well, I'm glad I went live early this morning. You talking about that plane crash, Cheryl? I saw a little bit of that on the news. I mean, how does stuff like that happen in our today's technology, where an airplane crashes with an Army helicopter or something? I've eaten about half of the loaf of my pumpkin bread so far. So good. No, another one? I tell you what, I've got to the place where I don't want to fly anywhere anymore. I think I'm safer with my feet on the ground. I mean, they just had one in, what was it, Philadelphia? Where was this next one at? With all this modern technology we've got today, there's no reason for a plane crash. Hmm. I mean, sometimes I think it's just pilot error, or it's bad maintenance on the airplane. I mean, it's terrible. And today, our technology and everything that we have technology wise that's so advanced, why there would be a plane crash. Yep. I mean, you hate to look at it this way, but you may go on vacation and it may be your last one if you fly anywhere. Or you may not even make the vacation. You may be involved in a crash just flying to where you want to go. They need to understand that. Yeah, that's true. Some people are more skilled than others. Man, that's awful. I hope you noticed I'm horizontal to that this morning. Let's see if I can bring it up on my little tablet here. Oh, the one in Philadelphia was the second one? I thought that was the only one. The first one was in Regan, Virginia. Huh. Oh, January 30th. There was a plane crash in Washington, D.C. I just put in the most recent plane crashes. Not sure about the rest of the country, but we're expecting a beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be the perfect day, I think, to get outside and put the stain on my cabinet. That is, if my sander comes early enough. I may be out there with just sandpaper in my hand trying to sand that green off of my wood. 18 hours ago, the D.C. area crash recalls some of the deadliest aircraft disasters in U.S. history. And then 9 hours ago, the one in Philadelphia. That was a medical transport jet carrying 6 people. But I can't believe that. The D.C. plane crash, the one that just happened, is one of the deadliest collisions and recovery efforts. And that was just 2 hours ago. It said families mourn 67 people killed in an Army helicopter collision with American Eagle jet. And then they say near misses warning signs ahead of Washington crash. That was 9 hours ago. And it says the search for victims in the D.C. crash continues in Potomac River. No survivors from it, from what they're saying. And then they come up with this video, is flying safe? Here's what experts say. I don't think I want to get on a plane anymore. And it said that the survivors of the recent crashes were sitting at the back of the plane. And I know I never could understand why first class, where they serve you your meals and you're in this big, comfortable, reclining chair and all this up front of the plane. And that's one of the most dangerous places to sit on an airplane. My mom always told me, ever since my first plane flight, back when I was 13 years old, she said, don't ever think you're being looked down on or anything else if you sit in the back of the plane. Because she said the back of the plane is one of the safest places to be. Because if the plane goes down or has a crash, you have more of a chance to survive sitting in the very back of the plane than you do in the front. Yeah, both happened at the end of January, and it said how it ended at the end of January. Wow. Said, yes, Charlie's going to be wonderful in Texas. But how does the Army helicopter collide with the plane? I mean, you have all this aviation advanced technology, so that doesn't happen. How does that happen? It's either got to be somebody that's undertrained, they really don't know what they're doing and they shouldn't be up there, or something like that, or maybe defective equipment, which I hate to say, or maybe something was not maintained properly and it caused the crash. You never know. There's so many things that could have went wrong. Yeah, medical transport collides with a military helicopter. Oh, you think the Army helicopter was reported as a training flight. Well, evidently they needed some training, and I guess I forgot to turn my notifications off my camera. But that's terrible. I was watching some of the older videos on YouTube of plane crashes. Some that were pretty old and some that were more recent. And there was a few of them that were actually pilot errors. Some of them, there was something that went wrong with the equipment, caused engines to fail or, different things. But there has been pilot error in there. Yeah, I've been so busy, I haven't had time to stop and look at much of the news about the two plane crashes. The only one I knew of was the one in Philadelphia. Got me another piece of pumpkin bread. I need to go there and get me another piece. I'm still hungry. I could eat that whole loaf of pumpkin bread for the way it tastes. Oh my God, I could just sit down and eat the whole thing. I got something good coming up on the next cooking recipe. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, though. Cheryl says, no, I'm jealous. Well, I'd give you a piece of my pumpkin bread, Cheryl, if I could. But I don't know why. I woke up this morning, I could not go back to sleep. It's not even daylight yet. It's dark outside. I said, why am I awake this early? It's 6:25 and it's not daylight yet. I said, oh, well, that'll get me an early start. I can get out there and get started on that cabinet fairly early. I mean, I guess I could leave some of the places unstained until it gets here, but it's supposed to come today, but it may not. And it may be 10 o'clock tonight before it comes. Who knows? Oh, no, Diana. In the second one that crashed, medical plane, was a little girl on there, medical issues. I think this said the plane was made in Mexico. Oh, yeah, you can put cream cheese on your pumpkin bread or your banana bread. It's real good with cream cheese on it. Or if you slice it thin enough to go in your toaster, you can toast it, put you some butter or cream cheese on it. It's real good that way. Usually I'm slicing mine thicker because I want to eat a big piece. That's the reason I started cutting my recipes in half, and I only made the one loaf. Because if I'd have made two of them, I would have had to hurry up and eat those 2 loaves of bread so I can go on to the next recipe. I don't need to eat two loaves of banana bread or 2 loaves of pumpkin bread. One is doing me harm enough with the weight. Why would it have been suicide? Everybody on the plane or the helicopter would die. But I don't know. You never know about things, I'll tell you. And there's Kathy Moore. Good morning. Oh, yes, Kathy. I met Kathy Moore at Brookshire's getting groceries last week, and I ran into her again yesterday as I was leaving the store. And she kept telling me, I'm going to be in your live and remember my name so you'll know who I am. I remember you, Kathy. So excited to meet you 2 times at Brookshire's. You're fun. Enjoy your videos. Cabinet is really great. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to get that cabinet finished today. I ordered a sander attachment that goes to my drill, and I hope it comes early enough. If not, I'm going to be out there with sandpaper trying to get the green dots off of my wood. But everybody welcome Kathy Moore. She's been watching our videos and stuff, but she's not been in the live before. This is her first time. And I've got my soap hob. I don't know who you are, but you're somebody new because I've not seen that name in my live before. Good morning. My soap hob. Sofa hob. I don't know how you pronounce that. But good morning. Hello. Welcome to our chat. And I'm thinking about going live with my cabinet today. If I get to stain it, I think I'm going to go live with it. I may end up with another 4-hour live. I don't know. But, you know, yesterday I posted a video on my cabinet. It was real late when I got it posted because having to edit it and get it uploaded, and it took forever. But I'm Sugar Stick Mondale with a new screen name. Okay. Well, why did you change your name? Sugar Stick was pretty good. But when I recorded finishing the cabinet, it was a 4.5-hour long video. And I said, nobody's going to want to sit there and watch this video for 4.5 hours. So I cut it down to a little under 2 hours. And then I got to post it pretty late yesterday afternoon or evening. Diana says, thank you for making one loaf breads because it helps me too. Well, that also, you don't have to sit there and eat the same bread for days on end till it's gone. You can go ahead and cook another type or something else. But it's good. I love pumpkin bread and I love banana bread. They're both awesome. And I'm still debating whether to start a cooking channel because so many people have messaged me and said, I just want to see your cooking videos, you know. They don't want to see my other videos like lives or trivia or gardening and composting. They just want to see cooking videos. So I've been thinking seriously of starting a cooking channel, calling it Linda's Kitchen or something like that. But I'm not sure if I want to do that because I don't want to spread myself so thin when I've got 3 or 4 different channels going and have to post videos on each individual one. I think that would be a bit much. Remember that nasty troll test? Yeah, I remember him, or whoever it was. Sugar Stick reminded me of that dude. Well, Sugar Stick is not a troll, though. Or he hasn't been a troll so far. Yeah, a lot of people that started out with gardening and stuff like that, people wanted them to get into cooking, and they ended up just starting a cooking channel to kind of keep it separated. Because just about everybody that watches my videos now want to see the cooking videos. And when I put up a gardening video or composting video, not that many people want to watch that. I mean, I still have views on it, but not like the cooking videos. I love lemon bars, but I haven't made any yet. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Cheryl. You got to get your 1,000 subscribers and your 400 viewing hours and all that before you start making anything off your videos. And I don't know if I want to do all that again. Diana says, I'm going to make your banana bread next. Oh, the banana bread, just as good as the pumpkin. And when you put that extra banana in your banana bread or extra pumpkin in your pumpkin bread, it keeps it so moist. Oh, it's so good for days. Whereas the original recipe that I had, or most of the recipes that I've ever used, the bread gets really dried out quick. And I like a moist bread. Oh, it's so good that way. No, not really, my soap ob. I have a composting bin outside. I don't have bugs on it. I keep it covered because when you layer it the way I do with you put your broken down wood, your leaves from your yard, your table scraps, dirt, and then keep layering it. You put paper in, like newspapers, cardboard, anything of that nature in there. It all breaks down and makes really good garden soil. But you always top it off every time you do a layer with dirt. You don't ever keep it open. You keep it covered with dirt. That makes it break down a lot faster. And it keeps the bugs away. You don't have flies, gnats, and all that kind of thing swarming around your compost pile. And there's Janine Spurgeon. Good morning. Get your name down because you get another chance at the drawing February 6th at 7 p.m. Yeah, I wanted to let's see where she was. Yeah, I wanted to remind everybody that we are having that drawing February 6th at 7 p.m. That's this coming Thursday. And you do have to be live to win. If I draw your name and you're not in chat, then I'll just put your name aside and draw another one until I pick somebody that's in the chat. I mean, I hate to do that, but, I tried to save winners like that before, and I never could get their mailing address or anything. So I never did get in touch with that winner. So from now on, I'm making it a policy that any of my drawings like this, you've got to be present to win. Well, thank you, Janine. I want to get it a little bit spot sanded and stained today, but I ordered a sander attachment that goes to my drill from Amazon. It's supposed to come today. I don't know what time it'll be here. It could be 10 o'clock tonight. I don't know. But I need to get those orange spots off the side of it because I don't want to stain it with those green spots on there. Did I say orange? I said meant the green spots. Oh, applesauce bread. I've put applesauce in stuff before too, and it's real good. It's just as good as the banana bread or the pumpkin bread. Gives it a little bit different flavor, but it's good. Just put in your applesauce. You may want to change out some of the other spices that go in it. You want to make a spice rack but don't know where to begin. Well, I had a little wooden spice rack. It had like 2 tiers on it that hangs on the wall, and I didn't have anywhere to hang it. Plus, I ended up with so many jars of different spices that little rack wouldn't hold half of them. So I got a top shelf up here just full of spices, jars of spices. I am single, but I don't know who you are. SLB 3900. Yeah, I don't have any wall space to hang a wood spice rack, and that's one that you hung on the wall, and it just had two narrow shelves, like that wide, just wide enough to hold one of the spice jars. So I couldn't even get half my spices on it. I'm 6'2", full of muscle, and I'm a feminist too, baby girl. Maybe Velcro to wall just for one. Well, I've seen how they use the refrigerator as a spice rack. They get these little jars. The little tiny jars are only about that tall, and they've got metal lids on them that stick to the refrigerator door like a magnet. So you can just line your little spice jars, because they're only about that deep. You can just line them up on your refrigerator door. You can fill your whole door full of spice rack. Make it a spice rack. Oh, Photos Against Anxiety. Welcome to our live chat. We're having a drawing for prizes on February 6th at 7 p.m. If you'd like to attend. Everybody's name that comes into my live chats between now and then, their name goes in the pot again for another chance to win. But you do have to be in live chat on February 6th if I draw your name to win. Anxiety. All right, well, I mean, you can come into any of our lives between now and then, but yeah, your name is going in the pot for the drawing for Thursday. Oh, really, Diana? You add some nutmeg yesterday. Oh, wow. $5 for it. Sometimes I'll keep a box of raisins here, and I usually keep pecans and, the bag of walnuts, and I'll throw those in there, but I've used all of mine. But my pumpkin and my banana bread is just as good without it. You don't really need it. It's so good anyway. Ground clothes for $5. Wow. I usually pick mine up at Walmart, and it's pretty cheap. It doesn't cost $5. All the spices there are way less than $5. Oh, I see SLB 3900. You're just a troll coming in here, aren't you? And I don't think any of my moderators are here. Yes, the tiles behind my stove are metal. It was wood, and I wanted to change it. I wanted a different backsplash to my wall. So I came across these small, they're aluminum tiles. They're the old-fashioned aluminum tiles, with the stamp pattern in them. And I bought enough of them to do the backsplash behind the wall. And then that strip that you see under the little tiles, it was like a harvest gold color, just a solid color. And I didn't like it. I wanted to make it look like marble. So I did all that work myself too. And there's Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Well, those magnets will stick to most refrigerators. My backsplash is like aluminum tiles, but they're the old-fashioned ones. And you could put them together where the pattern made a shape, a certain pattern. But my backsplash is not big enough, and it wouldn't hold that much of the pattern. So I just kind of randomly put them up there. I said it looks pretty that way anyway, so I don't have to match up each tile. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sounds like Tickle with just another screen name. Oh, you got the big bottle of spices. Yeah, they'll cost a lot more. I always get the small ones usually. For one, I don't have the space for a lot of the big ones. So I try to keep the jars small. Well, this was supposed to be a stick-on tile, but I put screws in mine because I knew that glue, those little sticky tabs on the back were not going to hold. So I put them on with little aluminum screws. I put a screw in each corner of the square. My plumber saw that I did that one day when he came over here after I put it up. He said, you don't have to put screws in that. It sticks on. I said, I know, but I didn't want to stick it on. I want to put it on with screws, so that's what I did. I wasn't ever planning on taking it down. So it didn't matter if I put screw holes in the wall. Best to buy the big one and then you can refill the small. Yeah, well, that's true, but where are you going to put the big ones in the meantime? SLB 3900. Watch your comments, please. I don't want to have to put you in timeout or block you from the channel. Well, I can't. I can't. That's what my moderators are for, but I don't have any moderators in here this morning. No, not for being a fan, but, we want you to watch your comments, that's all. If love is evil, call me the devil. Yeah, you can use a great amount of different things for backsplashes, and they turn out really pretty. But I did mine in marble and the aluminum old-fashioned tiles. And I ordered them because I couldn't find any small enough. I mean, you could get the great big ones, you know, like the 12 by 12 inch or the 14 by 14 inch that most people would put on the ceiling. But I wanted a small tile so I could put it back there and it would look right. So I had one of these little catalogs that had just all kind of different little things in it that you could order. And I came across those tiles. And I ordered them out of that catalog. They didn't cost much. But I did have to buy 2 boxes because what was in one box was not quite enough to do the whole thing. So I did buy 2 boxes of them. Yeah, that's right, Cheryl. We're not going to be mad at you for being a fan. It's for putting off the wall comments in the chat because people don't want to read that. Yeah, we don't want you to have bad manners in our live chat. Cheryl, that's okay. You're invited to the wedding. It's 34 degrees here right now because, like I said, it's not even daylight yet. If it was in the middle of the summer, it would have been daylight hours ago. Like I said, I planned to stain that cabinet today and get that finished. But I did order a sander attachment to go on my drill to try to get those green spots off of the wood of the cabinet before I sand it. And I don't know when that's coming. I may have to just get out there with sandpaper and hand sand it. But that's my plans today. And I've got another cooking video coming up that I might do later this evening. Good morning, Snow White. How's Snow White this morning? Glad you could come into our live. It's going to go in my kitchen, Janine. It's going to take the place of the little shelving thing or the cart that I've got my dehydrator sitting on. I'm going to move that out, probably stick it in the shed for the time being. And I'm going to put it there and see how it works. If you were closer, I could use your sander. Well, that would have been great, Janine. I don't think I'm ever getting married to anybody ever again. I've been married twice. That's too many times. Yeah, be nice in our chat. That's what they say, but I don't know if I want to try the 3rd time. Yeah, I've got to get the cabinet done, get it out of the way. And so, because I've got gardening stuff to do. I've got to get the new plastic on my greenhouse, get that tarp off of it, get that old cover off of it because it's full of holes, and put the new cover on it. And I've got still part of my garden that I've got to clean up and get it ready for planting. You know, I've not done but about half of it out there. I've been too busy with other stuff. Oh, if stuff we're making. Sure, it'll be up soon. What? I may go live with it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about just going live with staining that cabinet out there. I get tired of editing long videos. It took me ever to edit that video on working on the cabinet yesterday. That's the reason it was so late when I got it posted. Do you have like a patio, Janine? You wouldn't think the landlord would care. If you grow some really nice tomatoes, he might get one. Oh, it's too dark under there. If you take him food all the time, he shouldn't care if you put out a few pots and grow some vegetables because, he may get some of them if they produce quite a bit. He's only here on Fridays. Just tell him if he says anything about you putting pots out, just tell him, just think about it. You'll get you a nice, fresh, juicy tomato when they start producing. What's everybody else's plans today other than watching my videos? He raised the rent on a lot of people, but not mine, thank goodness. Well, that's good. That means he likes you. Maybe he appreciates the food you give him. And if you grow vegetables in pots, you can give him some fresh vegetables out of the garden. He'd love that. My chat don't stay up long enough over there to do anything. Can't wait to see the video. I'm sorry, I had to leave my chat for a little bit. Take care of some business here. I let our nice admirer take some time out. And I've got little buddy scratching at the door, wanting in. He just went out. He ate breakfast and went outside. Come on. I think Lucky's still sleeping somewhere. He hasn't come to the door to eat yet. They both stayed outside last night. I had to refresh my chat here. I couldn't. Yeah, there's quite a few things that you can plant together, Janine. And you always want to mix like at least one pot of mint in your garden and a couple of hot peppers plants and marigolds, because they help keep the bugs away from your other plants. Ants, they do not like hot peppers. They will not touch a hot pepper, and they don't want to go anywhere around where a hot pepper plant is growing. So if you spread them out through your garden a little bit, or even plant a pepper plant in with another plant, it'll help keep the bugs away from it. Yeah, marigolds do it too. Oh, first day of February, might just work on my diamond painting. I bet that's pretty. It's going to be about 73 here today. Basil and celery for tomato sauce. Yeah, I've got basil. I've tried celery a couple of times. My celery didn't do too good. I don't know if I planted it the wrong time of the year or what, but it does not like the heat. It does not like Texas heat. And I've got my cilantro bolted, except for one pot that I got over here in the backyard right off the patio. It loved the cooler temperatures. It survived through the winter. And it was just little bitty sprigs of cilantro coming up. So I should have a pretty cilantro plant before much longer. It starts growing really good. I'll be able to harvest some cilantro until it starts getting so hot that the heat will kill it. Because cilantro will not grow in a hot area. Yeah, I always have hot peppers, bell peppers, banana peppers, all kind of peppers strung out all through my garden. That's why I end up with so many peppers to make cowboy candy and cowboy candy relish. And this year I added pepper jelly, which is real good. Well, I buy meat because I don't grow the meat. I buy ground beef, pork chops, beef stew, stuff like that. But I don't usually have to buy any vegetables unless it's something I just can't grow here. Like the celery, I'll buy celery. But I've actually got enough pots of Egyptian walking onions that I always have plenty of onions. Even if I cook some of them, I've still got plenty. Because I've got 4 or 5 pots of Egyptian walking onions. And you can not only eat the green tops, but you can pull out the root and eat the root just like a regular onion. They just don't bulb up and get big like regular onions. And you have to remember, too, if you pull it out, it's not growing back the next year. But every year when they start walking, as I call it, or everybody says when they walk, they produce the little bulbs at the top of the stems with the clusters of little baby onions. Those are your seed onions. I let mine do that before I pull any out. And then I replant those little baby onions. And you get tons of them off of one plant. And you can start another couple of pots of walking onions. That way you've always got onions in your garden. And I need to plant some onions. I need red onions, yellow onions, white onions to plant this year. And garlic. You never heard of Egyptian walking onions? They'll come up every single year. As long as you don't pull them out by the root, they come back every year. So you can always cut the tops off and have the green onions to put in recipes. And like I said, after you started several pots of them, you can go back to that first pot and start pulling out onions to eat them. Put them in recipes, chop them up. Because you've already got several more pots started. It's kind of like a spring onion, yes, but it's an Egyptian walking onion. And they're the only onions that I know of that produce their own little seed bulbs. And it's funny because the stem looks like it's pregnant almost. The little bulb, it'll get like a little lump in the green stem. And it travels up all the way to the top. You can see this lump inside that green onion stem. And it grows all the way to the top. When it gets to the top of that stem, it bursts open. And it has a whole cluster of baby seed onions that you cut off and plant. So once you start onions, if you don't pull them all up of the Egyptian walking onions, you'll have all the onions you ever need. If you'll just replant them each time. And don't cut all your tops off until they walk and produce those seed onions. Then you can cut them off and eat all the greens and stuff like that. Because they only produce those seed onions once every summer. I think I paid something like $12, $15 for like 10 little bulbs to plant. And I've got several pots and totes of walking onions right now. So if I wanted to, I could, if I needed an onion, I'd go in the yard and get me an onion. I don't have to go to the store. Usually I'll buy 1 or 2 little yellow onions or a white onion. Or I may go and buy a red onion because I'm not growing a lot of red onions. I mean, I grew onions last year, but I didn't get that many. And I've already used all those up. Garlic the same way. I think I've got 3 or 4 little cloves of garlic over there. Or bulbs of garlic that came out of the garden. Little buddy wanted in my lap. Oh goodness, let me get back from the table. They can't see you, little buddy. You got in my lap and they can't see you. Here he goes. Look at this. He jumped up here in my lap. He jumped up here in my lap. Yes, they're hollow inside like a spring onion. They kind of look like spring onions, but they get really big. But you can eat the green tops just like a spring onion. You can eat the bottoms just like a spring onion. But they're, like I said, they're the only onions that I've ever seen that produce their own little seed onions. So I usually wait. I don't cut many of the green tops off in the summer until they produce their seeds. And then when I harvest all the seeds, then I don't mind cutting the greens off and eating them, or, putting them in recipes. He got up here and wanted me to pet him. Yeah, he's got up here and wanting me to pet him. Yeah, he got up here wanting me to pet him. Where did you run Lucky off to? Huh? Where did you run Lucky off to? Well, he's here in my lap. You just can't see much because of the way the camera's tilted. But there he is. His little paws are cold. He's been walking around on the cold concrete outside. Say hello, everybody. He's always wanted to get in my lap. He loves getting in my lap. He wants me to pet him, rub his head. But he's such a big cat, I don't have a lap big enough for him to lay on. I usually have to hold him to keep him from falling off. Because he's a big kitty. And I think Lucky's going to be a big kitty too. He's almost as big as little Buddy now. I don't know. They keep you a lot of company, don't they, Cheryl? You is an armful, little buddy. You are. You're an armful. He dips his head down in the fold of my arm because he wants me to pet him. If I pet him a little bit and then stop, he dips his hand and he rubs his head on my hand, letting me know he wants me to pet him. He's a loving, spoiled kitty. That's what he is. Yeah, he's a loving, spoiled kitty. And I can't reach the... With you in my lap, I can't reach the camera to change the setting of it. I'll squish you into the table if I try to reach the camera right now. Because you're between me and the table. Little buddy. I want people to see you. Well, it doesn't produce flowers. Walking onions don't produce flowers. They just have that bulb that comes up from the bottom all the way up to the top of the stem, and then it bursts open, and it's just a whole cluster of little baby onions. It's not a flower. Oh. I'm trying to get to the camera so I can turn it down a little bit so maybe you can see him. Owie, 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 you putting your claws in my leg. Oh, so I did all that, now you get down. Move the camera to where you can see him, and then he gets down. He said, well, I don't like being squished. Sometimes if they fall in the pot, they'll root and grow. It's best to cut them off and plant them somewhere else. Because usually your onions get so thick in your pot, those seed onions may not get on the dirt, to grow. And, if you got a pot of walking onions already growing and they start producing seeds, you're going to have a ton of those seeds, those walking onions. They're just little tiny baby onions is what they are. And when you use them in a recipe, they're just like regular onions or a leek. A leek is like an onion. I'll never forget when I first planted mine in the first summer they walked and they produced those little clusters of onions to plant. You don't store the seeds, Janine. They'll dry out if you store them. You cut them off when they produce the baby seeds, the baby onions, and you plant them right then. You go ahead and put them in another pot somewhere. You don't store them at all. Now, regular seeds, I just put in paper envelopes. Or you can, if you got them completely dried out, the seeds, you can put them in little plastic baggies. I've done videos on how I store my seeds because you want them in an air, like a paper envelope to where they can get air and stay dry. Or you put them in a plastic bag after you know they're completely dried, the seeds. Can they grow wild? Walking onions? Oh, you don't have to do anything to a walking onion. You just plant it and it grows. It does its thing. Now, if you put it in a pot or a tote, you'll have to water it. But that's the only thing you'll have to do is make sure it has water. Seeds last for a long time, many years. I don't know where little Buddy went. I thought he went and gotten the chair again, but he may have went and got on one of the beds. He slept most of the night curled up on the blanket in the recliner. Yeah, the onions probably would. If they get water, you know, they don't dry out. Here, I couldn't plant them and just forget about them because they may just dry out. It gets too hot in the summer here. I mean, you could try it. I don't know. I don't know how they would do just growing on their own. Just depends on where you live. If you live in an area where the ground, you know, gets plenty of water and you don't have to worry about keeping water to them, they'll do fine on their own. And they'll multiply every year from the roots too. Just like other onions, you know, they'll double their bulbs. Plus they put off the little little burst of onion seeds at the top. I mean, I say onion seeds, but they're actually little baby onions is what they are. Whenever they walk like that and they produce that little burst of like a baby onion, a cluster of baby onions, you'll know they're ready to cut off and plant when you see a little green sprout coming out of each one. That's the little onion trying to grow right on the stem. So you can go ahead and break them apart, plant them in the dirt, and have another pot of onions. Well, my plants only grow in the warmer weather. In the wintertime, like now, most of them die out. they freeze and they're gone and I have to replant. But the walking onions, they're there. I mean, the tops may wilt down a little bit, but as soon as the weather warms up, they start growing like crazy. You never have to replant them as long as you don't pull them up. Well, like I said, you don't mind pulling them up if you got 4 or 5 totes full of onions growing. You can go back to that first tote that you planted and start pulling onions and start eating them. Or cutting the tops and eating them. And good morning, Susan. How is Susan this morning? Yeah, you have wild onions. Wild onions. You have wild onions that grow. You have wild garlic. So if you live in an area where wild onions grow good and all that, those walking onions ought to do just fine. And there's Gladys this morning. How's Gladys doing this bright and early morning? This is the first time I've been live this early in a long time. And really, I don't think I've ever went live before daylight. Yeah, I just woke up early and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I said, this is the 1st of February. I could get up and go live and get in a little bit more views for this month's or this past month's paycheck. Yes, I do, Janine. I have a Facebook. I keep up with all my family that's spread out all over the country on Facebook. I actually have 2. I've got one under Linda Barnhill-Hauser, and then my other page is Linda Hauser. But I usually post everything on Linda Barnhill-Hauser on Facebook. I just did, Gladys. I put your name down. You're trying to win. I mean, the weather's getting so nice, it's hard to believe that they said that February was going to end with a rain and snowstorm somewhere toward the end of the month. That winter is going to go out in style the end of February. So I don't know if that's changed since I heard about it or if it's still in the works. But I remember one year I had planted tomato plants, peppers. I had all my squash and zucchini planted, from seeds. And we had a snow right after I planted it all. I mean, the seeds, it didn't hurt, but I was afraid it was going to hurt my little tomato transplants. So I covered them up with buckets and stuff overnight. And when I uncovered them, they were fine. They were just like they were the day before. But it only lasted that one night. We had snow on the ground the next day. It melted pretty fast. So it didn't hurt my plants. And the seeds, you know, they hadn't been in the ground long enough to sprout or anything, so it didn't bother them. But they say this year, the end of February, we're going to get snow. Oh, me too, Janine. You know, I hope we don't have any of this 110 and 115 degree weather this summer. Little buddy was in my lap just a few minutes ago, and I was trying to get him on camera, and as soon as I got the camera set to where you could see him, he jumped off my lap. He went and found him someplace to curl up and go to sleep. I guess it does that on all YouTube channels, my soap hob, or whatever. It always comes up backwards, it looks like. I don't know why it does that. I thought mine came out the right way part of the time, and I don't know what setting is off that it's backwards now. I know on my Christmas concert, the Merry Christmas was backwards, and I used it to my advantage, but the next time I put something like that up on the concert, I'm going to put the lettering backwards so it appears correct on the screen. I didn't think of that when I put it up this year. Yeah, I got to get that cabinet done because I got a lot of garden stuff that I got to take care of, and I'm running out of time. I was debating whether to start some things from seeds in the greenhouse, but I can't do that until I get the new cover on it. YouTube is turning us inverse. Yeah, I guess. Last cup of coffee. Well, I've drank mine this morning, my whole pint jar full of coffee. But I drank my coffee real weak. Like those little pods you put in those coffee makers where you make 1 cup of coffee. I can make 2 of these with one of those pods. So I'm not actually drinking any more coffee than anybody else if I drink 2 of these, because I'm drinking mine a lot weaker than what anybody else is just drinking 1 of them, because I don't like my coffee real strong. Well, thank you, Gladys. This is pretty much the natural color. My natural color is a light, kind of a medium brown. And it had a lot of gold highlights in it. And there's Dennis this morning. Good morning, Dennis. I surprised everybody and I went live this morning. And there's Krista. Good morning, Krista. Talking about my hair, I cut a good 3 inches off of it. See how short it is now? I cut about 3 inches off of my hair. You have to trim it up every once in a while. It grows real fast, and Then it starts getting stringy. Yeah, there you go, Krista. You sound like what I do. I drink weak coffee. I put half as much coffee in my cup as anybody else does. So I'm drinking it pretty weak compared to what most people drink their coffee. So I'm really not drinking any more than they are, probably not as much if they drink more than one cup. Because theirs is twice as strong as mine. And I had that maca, whatever it call it, coffee creamer in mine too this morning. Well, I heard years ago that there's something in the coffee bean, and it's not the caffeine, it's something else. That with anybody that has a tendency to have like cysts or anything like that, that the coffee makes it worse and it can bring them on quicker. So I had stopped drinking coffee completely for a long time. And then one year that I drove home to North Carolina, I needed something to keep me awake, so I started stopping at the gas stations when I got gas, and I'd get a cup of coffee. And that got me started back drinking coffee, and I've been drinking it ever since. Oh, wow, that sounds like fun, Dennis. He's going to go pick up 5 grandkids, and then they're going to make homemade lasagna today. I love homemade lasagna. I love lasagna, period. My daddy loved his coffee so strong you could almost stand a spoon up in it. I don't see how anybody can drink it as strong as my dad did. I drink hot tea coffee, don't agree with me. Hot tea coffee don't agree with me. Janine only has one kidney, and right now I think it's in trouble. Well, let's hope not, Janine. Yeah, that's kind of like me, Diane. I don't want it too watery, but I don't like it as strong as most people drink it. And I can't drink it the way it comes out of those little individual coffee makers, where it makes 1 cup at a time with them little pods. It's way too strong for me. I can make three or 4 cups with that pod to their 1 cup. Well, tea and coffee is a diuretic. It makes your kidneys work overtime. I've always liked to smell fresh coffee in the house too when it's making. I guess I grew up to that. I'd wake up in the morning to fresh coffee smell because my mom would have a pot of coffee going. I don't know. I'm going to make a food recipe later today, but that's not. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I'm not going to tell you how I do it. You'll just have to see the video. And if I do it this evening, it probably won't be posted till tomorrow. I want to get out there and stain my cabinet. And I was thinking about going live to do that if I decide to get out there and do it later. How about in Panda? I don't know what that is. I'll be right back, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Heard something outside, but it wasn't really nothing. Oh, it's a meat pie or an Italian panzerotti. It's similar. Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of the different names of Italian foods, even though I love Italian because I'm part Italian. Yeah, I'm going to have to check on panzerotti because I don't know what that is. But they finally got the septic down over here next door to this new house. They put it in day before yesterday. They dug holes in the backyard and the front yard, so they must have put a tank in the backyard and one in the front. I don't know. But I know they dug holes in the front, they dug holes in the back with the backhoe, and then they laid, God knows, I don't know how many feet of drain line in their backyard. They hauled in dirt, mostly sand, as a drain field, and then laid that pipe on top of it. It looked like it's about the size of a garden hose, and it's just basically a drip hose from the aerobic system. Yeah, it you never know. I mean, all these different foods and different recipes. I love tuna casserole. I love tuna salad. I make a macaroni tuna salad that I love, and I haven't made one in a while. I need to make one. Yep, you got all different kind of foods that come into our country, don't we? German, Russian, Italian, American, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese. I love a tuna macaroni salad in the summertime because it's something cold you can eat that's so good. I mean, I love it anytime, but I like it especially in the summertime. You thought the Espanadas were Puerto Rican. There's no telling. It might be a little bit of both. Could be Puerto Rican, Italian, and Mexican, and God knows what else all rolled into one. I love salmon patties. And I got some barbecue coming up. I got to fix that too. I might fix that this afternoon since it's real easy to fix. Oh yeah, she's returned my email that I sent her, and her internet went down. And then by the time it ever came back on, she said she was in so much pain that she didn't feel like getting back into the live. And by then it may have been over anyway. I don't know. But I don't know what happened to Jana. I didn't have her email. But I'm sure it was something. But you know, Patty C has some health problems. So that's one reason I was concerned about her all of a sudden disappearing. Oh, that sounds real good, Diana. Tender chicken breast breaded with stewed tomatoes, gravy, and over mashed potatoes. Ooh, that makes me hungry thinking about it. No, it was nobody that caused her to leave or made her leave or anything. Her internet went down. And you know, when her internet went down, she couldn't tell us what was going on. I guess Kathy must have left us. I don't see her in chat lately. The Kathy Moore that I ran into Brookshire's and met her. I ran into her in Brookshire's twice this past week. Yeah, I may have to because I don't like smelling that stain or the sealer that I put on it. I was out in the yard yesterday and the wind was blowing like crazy. And it sure played a chaos on my allergies. Okay, Dennis, enjoy your grandkids today. Maybe we'll catch you later on today. Do I have a diffuser? You talking about a diffuser for my hair or what? I don't know what kind of diffuser you're talking about. And there's Jay. Good morning, Jay. How's Jay doing today? That rhymes. How's Jay doing today? Oh, the kind that puts moisture in the air. I've got a little one that was sent to me by my one of my subscribers, and I haven't used it in a while. I've just been so busy, and I've got so much clutter going on till I haven't even had it going. Some play music and you can add oil. I haven't seen those. This one has different light shows that come on with it. It changes colors. Great for the bedroom. Well, thank you, Jay. You like my cat videos. I got, looks like 16 thumbs up, 22 people watching right now. Well, has anybody else other than Dennis made plans for today? Looks like Dennis has got his plans all made out with his grandkids today, making lasagna. I know that's going to be fun. Redo your bedroom? Oh, wow. That'll be a fun job. Yeah, lots of work, but that's a fun job. No, it's not. It's a lot of work, but just think of all the rewards you get from your brand new bedroom when you get finished. Cheryl doesn't have any plans. Oh, I know. I've got a queen size bed, and that bed frame is so heavy. Really, though, I can't move it anywhere in my bedroom because my bedroom's not big enough to move the bed anywhere. It can only go one direction, and that's the way it's sitting, so. I've already eaten pumpkin bread this morning, Gladys. I had pumpkin bread with my coffee. So my stomach's full. We've already been on for almost 2 hours. I went on before daylight this morning, Gladys. Yeah, I've got closets and dresser drawers and everything I need to go through and clean out stuff that I don't use anymore and make room for the stuff that I do use, that kind of thing. But I just keep putting it off because I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to think about doing it. It gives me a headache to think of what to get rid of, what to keep. Because usually if I get rid of something 2 weeks from now, I'll be looking for it because I need it. You already did your closets? I definitely need to do my closets. My closets are crammed full, and a lot of them in there I can't wear anymore. I can't get my jeans zipped up or can't get them buttoned, and they're still hanging in the closet, taking up space. Got rid of the stuff that I can't wear, and that way it gives me room for the stuff I can wear. But I'm like you, Janine. I don't like to do it. It's work for me. Too much cooking, huh? I do a cooking video almost every day. I'm doing anything else but deep cleaning. Maybe it will get to it today. Oh, I've got way too many shoes too, I know. I got dress shoes that I hardly ever wear, they're just for special occasions, and I haven't had special occasions to wear them lately. Yeah, I can't, my refrigerator needs a good cleaning out too. And the little freezer in the refrigerator needs to be defrosted because mine's not frost free. But again, I don't want to do it. You know how that is. You keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. The only thing is, tomorrow never gets here. Oh, me. I mean, maybe the troll's funeral. I hear you on that. I mean, I used to be a fanatic about cleaning my closet, cleaning my dresser drawers, keeping my house spotless, and it's like, oh heck, I don't want to do any of it. I just want to go out in the yard and do something. I mean, I still clean my house, but you get the drift. I'm not a fanatic over my house being spotless now. Not like I used to be. People used to say my floors were so clean that you could eat off the floor. Well, you could probably eat off the floor now, but it depends on how good your immune system is. No, my floors are pretty clean. Not as clean as they used to be, though. As you get older, you have other priorities. I mean, with me, I just want to get out in the yard and enjoy my day. I don't want to do housework. At my age, you start cherishing all your days. You don't want to waste any of them on just cleaning house. Did I just say that I'm going to waste my day cleaning house? 5-second rule works for me. Oh, you bought a cordless shark. Well, that vacuum cleaner my son gave me for Christmas is a shark, but it's not cordless, but it's got a pretty long cord on it. I mean, I can take it in my carport. I vacuumed my car out with it that day in a video, and I had plenty of cord to get out there, so refurbished. Well, I was more of a fanatic over house cleaning when I had a lot of people coming to my house all the time. I hardly ever get anybody coming to the house now, so I say, well, I can let it go for today. I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'm not really that bad. My house is pretty clean. Yeah, my son and daughter-in-law surprised me Christmas a year ago when they bought me the vacuum cleaner and the rug shampooer, carpet shampooer. And then this year they got me the KitchenAid mixer with that little pullover fuzzy hoodie. Do you know chlorine cleaner? Yeah, I use chlorine cleaner. I use Clorox for cleaning. Depends on where I'm cleaning. I still use vinegar to clean some stuff. Like when I clean my oven, I use vinegar and baking soda. It's the best oven cleaner you can use. No chemicals in it. Oh man. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that, Gladys. I haven't made stuffed cabbage in a while, so I might come up with some stuffed cabbage. Well, you know, they sell these pans now, a cooking pan, but it's actually just the liner for the bottom of your stove. And Walmart has them. I saw them in Walmart, and I said, huh, that's neat. I need to get one of those, but I haven't bought one yet. I said, that's better than even putting aluminum foil in the bottom of your oven. You made stuffed cabbage 2 days ago, Janine? I bet it was good. Yeah, I got to get that cabinet finished and get that done with. Get it in the house, get everything put in it, get this card out of the way, and see how it works and see if I like it. I may not like it after I get it in here. I don't know. Really, you have an alternative to cabbage. You use grape leaves. I've never heard of using the grape leaves, but I know in other countries they use all kind of leaves to wrap foods and stuff with when they're cooking it. I bet they're good. You gonna try to get your son to watch if I make cabbage rolls, Gladys? Is that what you're talking about? You want your son to make you some cabbage rolls? I just hope Amazon brings my sander attachment pretty early today. I don't want to get out there with my hand sander using my hand. It's too hard to sand with your hand, just pick up sandpaper and rub it with your hand. Yeah, grape leaves are a typical Greek dish. And I've seen cooking videos from Vietnam and a lot of different areas, and they use all kind of leaves to wrap foods in. And there's Holiday. Good morning. Let's get your name down for the drawing again. How's Holiday doing today? Yeah, I've got a jigsaw. Oh, that sounds good, Holiday. Chops and sauerkraut. Easier than a circular saw. Well, I usually use my skill saw to cut everything, and I've got a little jigsaw, but I don't know. It seems like I can't control the cut with that thing as well. The best kind of saw to have is a table saw. I think I've never used one, but they look so easy to use. Like they're easier than a skill saw or a jigsaw or any of that. I like to make walking stick. Well, the build is finished. I've got to get out there and sand some places and then stain it and then put the final sealer on it. But the building part's done. It's got the doors and everything on it. The shelves are in it. It's going to look totally different though when I get it stained. Yeah, and the straight cut is what I need on a lot of my stuff. But I don't have a table saw and I don't want to have to buy one. Sun's coming out, y'all. Still 34 degrees though. It's going to go in my kitchen, Holiday. I'll show it to y'all when I get it in here and get the stuff on it that I want to put on it. Let you see how it looks. Oh. I can't believe the traffic going by my street out there. It's like you might think this is Monday, first day of back to work week or something. In Kentucky, the sun is coming out there. Let me get Sharon's name down. How is Sharon doing today? Oh, really? You can get a saw that attaches to a table? They make the table just to attach and unattach to. A lot cheaper than the whole saw, especially if you already have a saw. You're always saying you always need another room attached. Yeah, the sun's just, I mean, it's coming out pretty good here this morning. All right, Gladys, we'll see you later. Have a good day, because we'll probably be off by the time you're able to come back in. Frost everywhere here in the morning. Frost is better than ice. I was kind of debating if I want to go live when I stain the cabinet. I haven't decided yet, but don't be surprised if all of a sudden I go live later today and I'm out there staining my cabinet. It just depends on if I can get those green spots off of it. I'm good, just had my coffee. It used to give me energy, but now it doesn't. Yeah, I did cut my hair holiday. I cut about 3 inches off of the length of it. I mean, look how short it is. But at least when I brush it now, I'm not brushing half my hair out. When it was a lot longer, every time I brushed it, I would break off tons of hair. So every once in a while, I like to cut it up a little bit shorter to give all the broken frizzy pieces time to catch up with the rest of it. And it's a lot lighter too. You just don't want to miss it. Yeah, I haven't really fully decided if I'm going to go live with it today or not. I may go live with it because I'm tired of editing videos. I mean, it took me hours to edit that 4.5 hour video down to just under 2 hours. And then it took forever for it to upload. That's the reason I was so late with getting it posted on YouTube yesterday. Well, I have to trim it up every once in a while. My hair grows so fast and it gets long real quick. Well, it looks like we've been on here for right now going over 2 hours barely, but we're over 2 hours. I guess I should let some of you people get to whatever you got to do today. And maybe if I decide to go live later, you'll be able to catch my live when I start working on my cabinet again. So, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming into my live this morning at the spur of the moment. It was a surprise. But I've got your names down again. I'm going to cut them apart, put them in the the pot for the drawing Thursday. Yeah, all of you be safe too. You have a blessed day, and maybe I'll see you later. Well, thank you, Cheryl. I enjoyed it too. It's a nice way to get your day started. But again, I appreciate all of you coming into my live at the spur of the moment, hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate each and every time you do that. You come into my live, you spend times with me, you watch my videos. You don't know how much I appreciate it. And I'm going to catch y'all later. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. See you later.